Hi everyone, Val here. And when I was in New York, we did some baking. We made coconut cream pie, and this was out of our family cookbook. Years ago, we gathered all the family recipes from Mom and aunts and stuff and put together a family cookbook so that we would always have the recipes Mom used to make when we were younger. And we would always be looking for the recipe. So my sisters and I got together and gathered these recipes, and my brother. And I put them together in a cookbook and distributed it to the members of the family. So one of the recipes that we really enjoy is the coconut cream pie recipe. So we made it last time I was in New York back in September, and somebody commented on the video and asked if I would share that recipe. So I don't like sharing family secrets, but I'll share it with you. No, I think I'm going to share a few recipes with you out of the cookbook that we really enjoy, coming up. But for today, I'm going to share the coconut cream pie recipe with you. So, and we're going to make it together because I'm going to use it. I'm going to take it to church for our Wednesday night dinner this week. So come on in, and I'll show you what the ingredients are that we're going to be using. Okay. Now, I don't make pie crust, so I went to the store and I got a graham cracker crust that's pre-made. So that's what we're going to be using on there. We have a fourth cup of flour, and I'll put this the recipe in the description box below. We got a half a cup of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 cups of milk, 3 eggs, and they're separated. Those are the egg yolks, and my egg whites are here in the glass bowl. I have 2 tablespoons of butter and also a half a teaspoon of vanilla. And then in this bowl I have 6 tablespoons of sugar, and this sugar is going to be added in with the egg whites when we whip the egg whites, and that'll be added in with the coconut. So the coconut, we have a cup and a half of coconut here. So we have all of our ingredients together, and we'll start cooking. Okay, so we're going to start by adding the flour, the half cup of sugar, the salt, and the milk into the saucepan. And we're going to start this on a medium heat. And we're just going to mix it in the saucepan until it starts to thicken. So it's 6:28 right now. And I'm actually going to grab a whisk so I can get some of the chunks of flour out of it to start with. And then I'll get this going until it thickens, and I'll come back with you and I'll show you how many minutes it took for it to thicken up. Okay, this has been on about a medium-high heat. It's on about a 6, and I've been stirring this constantly for about 8 minutes now, and you see it is thickening up nicely here. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to remove it off the heat just a little bit for just a minute, and then I'm going to take my egg yolk mixture and add a little bit of the hot mixture to it. And that's just to temper it so that I'm not pouring the eggs directly back into it. But I'm going to move it back onto my heat here and just turn my heat down to about a 5. I'm going to pour my egg yolk mixture, the egg whites, or the egg yolks, back into my pan. And then I'm going to constantly stir this, but I'm going to cook it for 2 more minutes. I'm going to put my timer on for 2 minutes, and this does need to be cooked for another 2 minutes with the egg yolks in it to get this nice and thick. And I am going to turn this down just a little bit more. I'm turning it down to about a 3.5, and cook this up for another 2 minutes. You see how nice and thick it's getting? Alright, I'll be right back. Let me continue cooking. Can you see this consistency now, how thick this is? It's getting really, really thick. We have about a couple more seconds left in our 2 minutes. But it's very, very thick now. So this is what we're looking at right here for thickness. You can see it's really, really thick. I'm going to move it off the burner. And I'm going to turn the burner off. And then we're going to come over here. And we're going to start our next step. And our next step is going to be to take the egg whites. And we have our egg whites here in this bowl. And my oven is off. This side of my oven is off. It's cool. So, actually we need to, before we do that, we've taken this off our heat here. And we're going to add our butter and vanilla to it. We'll do that first. Alright, and then I'm going to stir that in, let the butter melt nicely in there. Alright, so we got our vanilla and our butter in the pan now. And the butter is melting down. Alright. So while that's finishing up, I'm going to take my egg whites and I have a little hand mixer and I'm going to beat my egg whites until they form stiff peaks. So I'm going to do that and I'm going to come back because I don't want you to have to listen to all this noise that this is going to make. So let me beat this up. I'll be right back. Okay. As you see, it's forming peaks now. So this is beat up nicely. I'll put that aside and I'm going to take my 6 tablespoons of sugar and add that in with this egg whites. Alright, they still have nice stiff peaks on them. So now we're going to take 1/3 of the egg whites and the coconut and mix it into the mixture that we have pre-cooked onto the stove. So I've got my coconut, and then it calls for 1/3 of this, but I'm going to use a little bit more. If you use 1/3 of this, then you use the remainder of it on the top, and you can make meringue out of it and put it in the oven and bake it, and so that you brown your meringue. But I'm not going to put meringue on this pie. I like mine without the meringue, so I'm going to use more of the egg whites in the mixture. You can kind of see how that's turning out here. That looks wonderful. I actually think I'm going to make it a little fluffier. I'm going to add a little bit more of the egg white mixture, because I like my my pie filling fluffy, but I'm not so much into the meringue on top of the pie. So this will just make the pie a little bit fluffier. But don't worry if you don't like to do it this way. You can go ahead and just put 1/3 of the mixture into the pie filling and just use the rest on top of the pie, and then just brown it in the oven to make your meringue for the top of your your pie. So this is what my pie filling is looking like. It's looking wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and pour it into my pie crust. Alright, and there you go. And I'm just going to even it out here. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the top on this and put it into the refrigerator to cool. I am not going to come back and do a taste test on this because I already know it tastes wonderful. I've made these several times before, or many times before, and they're wonderful. And you saw, if you go back and look at my vacation video, you saw where we made it back when I was on vacation, and we did a little taste test then, and it was wonderful. So I know this is going to be wonderful also. So this is how the pie is looking. We are going to go put it in the refrigerator overnight to cool so that it'll be ready in the morning. And that's the coconut pie. I want to thank you all for watching. I'm going to put the recipe in the description box below if you want to try out this pie. You don't have to use a graham cracker crust. You can make your own pie crust if you like to do that, or buy a store-bought brand a pie crust and use that if you want to. Any pie crust will be fine, whatever you like to use. But here's our pie. Give me a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe if you're not subscribed and you want to see more videos. And leave a comment below so I'll remember to go by and check out your videos. Y'all have a great day, and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye now.